Hey, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock. And as we always say, that means it's time for trash talk. And
Yes,
you,
yes.
you can probably tell from the background of both of us, we're talking some serious trash here.
This is why we suggest, and it doesn't matter how you listen to us, what you do, but if you really want to get the full effect, you should watch us. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Listening to us is one thing, but the visual is worth half the price of admissions.
I mean, seeing our gorgeous faces this early in the morning, I mean,
Yeah.
for free.
Right. And by the way, we are both standing in front of our real homes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a condo and I've got a freestanding house. Well, it's almost freestanding.
Hey, this is the new apartment complex they're building on 380 in Frisco.
Right. Yeah. This Chip and Joanna are coming over to do an episode of Fixer Upper.
Yeah, it's called Knock It Down and Leave.
Knock it downy.
Knock it down.
Yeah. Yeah. The demolition part's the easy part. You just turn around and go.
Yeah, it won't take much to get rid of that thing. Let me tell you.
But you know what? The good thing about this property behind me, you can rent it with an option to buy.
Oh, nice. Well, you know what's interesting is I'm looking at the landscaping. It looks like it might be in Florida.
Well, that's the whole cost of the place. You're not paying for the house, you're paying for the landscaping.
Hey, at least you got something,
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I got a meth head talking to a crack dealer about safety. I don't know.
Yes, a different story on every floor.
But you know what? That apartment right there for a loft, it's probably $2,500 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're in California, if you're in California, I was looking at renting. Not that I ever want to move to California or live there. I was just looking at across the country. The average cost in California, like just across the board, not LA County, just across the board in California, to rent an apartment is $2,500 a month. No joke.
And that's probably either a studio or a very small 1-bedroom. You got a bedroom, a bathroom, and maybe a front sitting room. And that's not only is it $2,500 a month, but they want first and last and a month's security deposit. So now
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So if you just write a check out for $7,500, you can move in.
And I mean, that's people talk about renting versus buying, and it's easy for a lot of people to discredit one versus the other if they're not in that situation. And everybody's situation is different. Some people just don't want to deal with the headache that comes from owning a home,
Exactly.
And I understand that, but man, when you start to look at apartments right now and you start to look at what they offer, they are through the roof. It is when you've got the average cost, at least where we live, the average cost of just a 1-bedroom is $1,500 to $1,700 a month for a 1-bedroom. What?
Yeah, but you know what? The opposite side of that, somebody says, well, why do you want to pay $1,750 a month and you got nothing to show for your rent payment? Well, now, if there's any way on this earth that you can get a mortgage payment for $1,750 a month, you've got all of the maintenance fees on top of that. You got an HOA fee because you're living in a community. You also have taxes, which can on that small place could be another $100 a month just to pay for the taxes.
Well, that's not including the bills that are genuinely higher anyway in a house because of the size of it. And look, I'm not putting down a house. I'm getting to this point right now over the next 6-7 months. Actually, I just talked to somebody the other day about it. Yeah, I'm looking to make the move. I'm getting out. So I've been breaking all this stuff down. I definitely don't want to look and try to get a house right now because it's insane. Now, it's great if you're selling a house because you're definitely going to get way over asking price. But then that also puts you in the position where you're going to buy a house way over the asking price. So
Right.
if you can sit and hope to see what happens in the next 6-7 months to a year, that's what I want to do. And I'm not an expert. I know there's a lot of guys out there that are, but I'm looking at these apartments and I'm going, you want me to pay $1,700 for a 1 bedroom? Okay, so what's a 2 bedroom? And then you tell me, oh, well, we got them as cheap as $2,200, $2,200 a month for a 2 bedroom that I don't even own. Now, the positive thing about that is you got a light bulb that goes out, you don't even change it. You just call.
Well, that's
You
right.
know,
You also don't
that-
need to, you don't need to mow the grass in the front yard or the backyard. You don't need to clip the bushes.
You don't got to, your trash is the same, you don't got to worry about it. I mean, yeah, that's incorporated in your rent, the fee and all that, the
Right.
pest control, but water's nothing in an apartment, $22, $23. Just think about when we had that big freeze in February. That's not my problem. If the pipes burst, not my problem.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you got renter's insurance, but your renter's insurance is like $10 compared to what you got to pay for a house,
That's true. And if you need to claim something on that insurance, now you got to go through all the hoops to try and get it, because the air conditioner went out and it's on your homeowner's insurance. Now, you could probably die waiting for the insurance adjuster to come around to give you a check in order to get a new air conditioner.
Well, all the maintenance and all that. And I get it. Look, like I said, I'm not putting down a house. I came from a house, so I understand all of the stuff that has to go in it. And it's a headache, and people are like, well, don't you want to own something? I'm like, yeah, like a boat. I don't, like, I like the idea of a house, but that's not my, like, I don't want to be like, hey, I bought this house. Look at what I have.
Yeah.
I just, but in the same sense, yeah, I do want to get into a house, a smaller house, something like that. That's cool. But you got to understand that there's a whole lot that goes to it.
I would probably be more inclined to get a really, really nice motor home or something. And just, that way you can get a nice motor home and all, and then just find a lot that you can park it on.
And just,
And
yeah.
you got it. I remember when I moved here from South Florida, the homes down there, I mean, the properties, I should say, you buy a house for $1 million. Now that was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath little bungalow that was looking a little bit like the one behind me. But the house was worth about $50,000, but it was sitting on a $950,000 piece of land.
Oh,
So, many times what they do is buy up that property, knock down the house, and then build the house that you really want on the property.
and because really that land is the key, is the gold mine.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm thinking now that I'm getting older that, ultimately when I sell a house, maybe I'm better off just, especially now in today's market, if you're going to sell your house and get an extra 50 grand over the asking price for the house, find yourself a nice apartment and everything, because it's going to take you years and years and years to, on that money that you made on the sale of your house.
And absolutely. And like for a guy like me, look, I'm single.
There ain't no guys like you.
That's true. But yeah, I've got a son. I don't need a big house, and people are like, well, one day. And I'm like, no, let's just stop right there. It's not going to be one day. But I don't need a big house. So I don't need this ginormous 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, big property. I just want like a nice little house, old school.
You need a place to sleep and a large room, a large toy room.
Yeah, look, I don't ask for much. I either want a really cool front porch or a patio or a place that I can make a cool patio, garage, a little bit of yard. That's it. That's really all I want.
And your little patio is also your studio for one of your podcasts.
Pretty much. That's all I do out there. So I need that space too,
Yeah.
But I just looked at the rent, and we all know how Frisco's grown and what it's turned into. The average cost for a 1-bedroom apartment in Frisco is $1,375 a month.
One bedroom.
One bedroom at 6% increase from last year.
Yeah. And like you said, that's the rent for 1 year, because then every year, if you stay,
They go up.
it
They
keeps,
inevitably go up. I mean, you might be able to get, there's some deals that you might be able to get, like if you do a 2-year lease, they're not going to go up. I've talked to some friends of mine that have been in a place for 2 years, and they locked it in, but then
Yeah.
the next year it went up 5%. Like inevitably, it's not just going to stay. Gone are the days of the rent just staying the way they are, you know?
right, right. And the homes are the same way. I mean, you buy your house and you get your mortgage and you say, okay, I can handle that mortgage payment. Well, now next year the taxes go up. So now your mortgage payment is the same, but now your tax bill has gone up.
Absolutely.
If you got an HOA, oh, the HOA needs some more money to fix up the pool area or the playground. So now they raise the HOA fees. There's always something that's going to change, and it ain't going to change by going down. It's
Never
always
gonna go down.
going to change by going up.
And again, of course, which is why we have so many people moving out to Texas from New York and California, because of what you can get here compared to out there is huge. But I almost feel like that's working against us too, because now everything's just going up. It's just going up. I mean, okay, so I look and Chicago, and obviously, you know, Chicago, obviously. You look Chicago, it's way more expensive in Frisco when it comes to rent, okay? But not really. There are parts and good parts of Chicago where a 1-bedroom, not a studio, but an actual 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago is $1,575. That is not much higher
No.
than Frisco, Texas. And Frisco, you ain't Chicago. So I have no idea
Yeah.
why they're that way.
You mentioned California. That 1-bedroom apartment that was $2,500. Now somebody from California comes to Frisco, and for $2,500, they can get a 3-bedroom, apartment with 2 parking garages,
Oh,
or so, or if they want to stay in a 1-bedroom, now they're going to save about $1,500 a month.
yeah, absolutely. I talked to this guy. He moved from California. They got a condo, and I forgot where in Frisco, but he said for what he paid for that condo, he said he couldn't even come close to it in California. And he's got awesome 4 bedrooms, high vaulted ceiling, very nice condo, great condo, out of my league for sure. And I was like, "What? How did you get this?" And he's like, "It's cheap compared to California."
Yeah.
I don't know. So what do you think? I'm sure you've talked about it. Are you going to stick around where you're at for the remainder, or you thinking of leaving?
Frankly, I can't afford to leave.
I was just, well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because,
yeah.
but we just finished doing a few improvements to the house, and a lot of people are doing that. It's actually cheaper and better off for you to just do a couple of necessary improvements for the place where you're living now than to sell. Everybody's got this fever, and they say, listen, my house 6 months ago or something was worth $350,000. Now, if I put it on the market for $350,000, I could probably sell it for $425, because
Right.
there's going to be 5 people out there that are going to be bidding $50,000, $75,000 over the asking price. And you know where those people are coming from? California.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they got that money. When they sell that little bungalow in California for $1 million, they can come
That's
over and buy
unreal.
3 houses in Frisco. They could live in one and rent the other 2 out. So it's a matter of money. But for me, like I say, yeah, I would love to be able to sell a house, sell it for $50,000 over what I paid for. But if I want to go out and buy one,
You're going to buy more than more than you need, or
that's
or
right.
spend more than you need.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Probably the best deal is if somebody wanted to buy a house, find a new development that's just breaking ground, and I'll get in on the ground floor. because they want to offer the best deals for those first few dozen people to buy in order to get those houses started. So people see that it's a new development. It's on the run. So
I've
you
seen
get
a lot
the
of those,
best
and there's a
deal.
lot of those around us that are popping up. They just announced a really big new one that's coming into town too. I don't know. I mean, I think where we're kind of centrally located at, I think it's just, I don't think you're going to find anything quote unquote cheap or quote
No.
unquote good anymore in this Frisco location at all.
Well, the downside to that is, okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to go this brand new development and I'm going to give you $15,000 down and I'm going to have you build a brand new house for me. Well,
Sure.
it could take a year or a year and a half before that house is finished because they can't get the materials. Everybody's depending on somebody else. Okay,
Well, that's it.
to the point where the plumbers can now come in and do the plumbing. Well, they don't have the time. They're overbooked. They're busy. They can't get the materials, and it gets backed up and backed up and backed up. So you're forced to continue to rent until that house is ready.
Until it's ready, and then you just got to do what you got to do.
Or you move out of your house, you have to rent someplace interim, move all your stuff, store all your stuff, waiting to move into your new house. And all of those steps cost money.
Well, that's like, where I'm currently at. I've talked to them about, I still have time on my lease, so I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But I mean, it's going to come faster than I realize.
Yeah.
And I've talked to them about, hey, if I can't find anything and you want to cut me a deal since I've been here for 2 years. And they're like, it'll be 2 years, I should say, by the time I get there, and then I'll move to a bigger place. And they're like, well, it depends what specials we're running. And I'm like, great. Because they don't have to work with you anymore. They just don't.
They got a waiting list.
They got a waiting list. Now, granted, COVID has kind of put them in a situation where people got behind and people their whole outlook on life has changed. Their jobs have changed. So they do want to retain people, because if I'm handing them X amount of money every month, no problems, they could get the next guy in there and he could just be, 6 months in, and you never know. So, but it's a tough thing when you look at like finding a bigger place and you see it's over $2,000. You're like, what am I doing? Why?
Go talk to the landlord of this place, because I think he'll give it to you for $1,000 a month.
I might take it, because I think between me and Chip and Joanna, we could do some stuff.
Yeah. The only thing I gotta do is put some windows in it, and I think a door, because the door is missing.
Yeah. And if you're in Florida, you better have windows. You don't want those things flying in and taking you away at night.
Right.
I got a problem right now with that. I can hear it, but anyway.
Yeah. You got something that's trying to get through your door.
I'm hearing it right now.
Well, anyway, we want to just let you know about our contest. We got a contest. You can just go to their email, which is trashtalkfrisco@gmail.com. Go to that. Just send us an email and say, hey, you know what, guys? You're running a contest. You want somebody to be a guest on your show. I want to be the guest on your show, and this is why.
That's right.
Just
That's
let
right.
us know. And the beginning of December, yeah,
No.
beginning of September, we're gonna pick the person that sends us the most creative reason why they want to be on this show, and we'll get them on the show. And who knows,
Absolutely.
if they do a good job, one of us will retire.
Yeah. I might just not show up to work one day.
You're right. Yeah, you got enough on your plate anyway. So
I might just leave.
yeah,
Have
there
you
you go.
take it.
All right. Well, join us again next week, because we're going to be here. Honestly, we'll be here 8:00 next Tuesday morning for another edition of Trash Talk. And we hope you'll be with us too. Okay.
See you later.
Make it a good one.